So for today's video, I want to go over just some general safety tips when you're utilizing an Uber, Lyft, or honestly any form of rideshare. Now, the reasoning behind today's video is that I had an organization called What's My Name reach out to me on Instagram not too long ago. And this organization was founded by two parents whose daughter, her name was Samantha. She was a 21-year-old college student. She got into what she believed was her Uber. It was not. It was a fake Uber. And as a result, she was kidnapped and killed. So her parents started this organization in her name to raise awareness about the safety of utilizing rideshare services. So as I mentioned in this video, we're going over a bunch of general safety tips when you are utilizing a rideshare. I'm going to break it down into two categories: what you should be doing prior to entering the vehicle, and then what you need to be doing once you're inside the vehicle to ensure your safety. Now, for starters, when you are going to actually book the vehicle, before you do so, read through the reviews. You don't have to go through all of them. Glance over them, see if anything jumps out at you, see if there's any red flags or anything you need to pay attention to. And if any of the reviews are making you feel uncomfortable or questioning this driver, don't book them. Remember, you are getting into a vehicle with a complete stranger. We have no idea who they are. I have no idea if they're a genuinely good person or what their intentions are. So I want to make sure that I'm keeping myself safe. Now, taking that one step further, when you actually book the vehicle, make sure that you are in a safe and secure spot, ideally somewhere that is well lit and well populated, because again, you could be waiting there for a little bit. So I really don't want to go to like a dark alley or the end of the street where there's no street lights or anything and sit there and wait for my vehicle. I want to make sure that I'm in a well lit, populated area that I am comfortable waiting in, potentially by myself, for 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes. Now, again, you get to choose where the vehicle picks you up. So if you're leaving a restaurant or a store, that's a great place to do so. If you have to walk a little bit to get to an area where you feel safe, do so and then order your vehicle from there. Now, this next one is probably the biggest one. You need to actually verify your driver. You need to make sure that the person driving this vehicle is in fact there to pick you up. Now, there's a few different ways that you can verify this. Number one, you can ask the driver, who are you here to pick up? Don't go up to them and say, hey, are you here for David? Because again, any bad person can take advantage of that. Instead, go up to the driver, politely ask them, who are you here to pick up? Let them give you your name so that way you know for sure that this person is in fact there for you. In addition to that, verify the vehicle. Make sure that the make of the car, the model of the car, the color of the car, and even the license plate matches up with what the app says. Again, if none of those details match up, don't get into the vehicle. Now, I don't utilize rideshare too often, but I do believe that Uber specifically has a PIN system that you can utilize as well to verify that it is in fact the correct driver, in which once the driver arrives, you give them a 4-digit PIN. They enter that into their phone or tablet, whatever it is that they're using, and it will give you the verification that this is in fact the correct driver and that they're going to take you to your final destination. No matter which option you choose, this is honestly probably one of the biggest things, is that you need to 100% verify and make sure that the vehicle you are getting into is the correct vehicle. Now, let's assume that you are going to be sitting in the back seat of this vehicle. Now, when it comes to where you should sit in an Uber or rideshare, I'm going to be doing a separate video on that because there seems to be a lot of discrepancies on what is considered the safest seat. But let's just say for this video, you are sitting in the back seat. When I open up the door, I want to take a quick glance at the inside panel and make sure that the child safety lock is in fact unlocked. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what the child safety lock does, essentially it prevents you from opening up the door from the inside. Even if the driver hits the unlock button, they still need to come out and open up the door from the outside in order for you to exit, which means in the event of an emergency, a fire, a car accident, the car rolls over, you cannot physically get out of that car unless somebody opens up the door from the outside. If this person makes you uncomfortable, if they start threatening you, if they start trying to get hands-on with you, you physically cannot open up the door from the inside. And if I'm a passenger in a stranger's car, I need to be able to exit that car on my own free will, which means I need to be able to open the door from the inside. Now, when you're looking at this panel, the child safety locks, I'll post some pictures up here. There's a lot of different variations of what the lock will look like. Check it, make sure it's unlocked. If it isn't unlocked, you have two options. Either you decline the ride and you request a different driver, or you politely ask the driver, hey, can you unlock the child lock? Now, if they refuse to do so, that's a big red flag. Cancel the ride, get somebody else, because again, I want to be able to exit the car on my own free will. So now you're sitting in the back of the Uber. I need to make sure that a trusted friend or family member knows where I'm at and where I am going. So I want to make sure that I share my trip with that person. Give them the information, give them tracking information so that they can follow you along on your ride to ensure that you get to where it is that you need to go. This is critical because if for whatever reason something happens to you and you're not responding, someone that you trust has your information. They know where you're located. They know who the driver is. They know what the vehicle is. They can send help on your behalf. Now, in addition to you sending your route to somebody else, you also need to track your own route. Just because you have somebody else driving you does not mean that that is a time for you to sit in the back, zone out, watch videos on your phone, or scroll through social media. You need to have your route opened up in some form on your phone so that you can track its process as a driver is taking you there. That way, if there's anything suspicious going on, if they try taking you in a different direction, you can call it to their attention, and if things get really serious, you can address the situation and take the appropriate action. But remember, you are a passenger in a stranger's vehicle, which means you need to be paying as much attention as possible. Now, oftentimes in rideshare vehicles, you will have drivers that will offer you beverages and food. Sometimes they have the little mints wrapped up. They got candy, chips, whatever. Don't accept it. Don't accept any beverage or food from this person because, again, you have no idea who they are. It's very easy to tamper with that stuff and cover it and reseal it. So you're better off just not accepting any of it. Be polite about it. Don't need to be rude. But I would recommend that whenever you are traveling, have your own beverage, have your own food, and don't accept essentially candy from strangers, which is exactly what you're doing. You're in a vehicle with a stranger. Don't accept anything from them. Limit how much personal information you share. Now, this is twofold. If you are on the back sitting on a phone call talking to a friend or family member, boss, coworker, whatever, limit what you are saying because keep in mind, you are with a stranger. They are going to hear everything that you are saying. You don't need to be giving out your full name, where you live, what you do for work, what your kid's name is, where you're going, any of those details. You can be polite about it. If they're asking you questions, be vague, be polite, but limit and watch how much personal information you are sharing. And also keep in mind, a lot of these drivers have cameras in their vehicles that also record sound, and they could very well go back and rewatch the video and pick up everything that you said. So unless you want it out there for the world, keep it to yourself. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had countless experiences where I've sat down next to a stranger and they've told me their entire life story. And after like 5 minutes, I could probably guess what all their passwords are. So don't be that person. Keep your personal information private. You can be polite about it. You can be nice. You can give out some details. But again, at the end of the day, your privacy comes first. Last but not least, trust your gut. If anything feels off, even before you get into the vehicle, don't get in. Once you're inside the vehicle, if something just doesn't feel right. Maybe it's the behavior of the driver. Maybe it's something they said. Maybe it's the way that they're acting. Maybe they have tried to get hands-on with you. End the ride immediately. Tell them to pull over. Tell them to stop. Get out of the car. Order another driver. I understand that that could be inconvenient, but again, your safety is your number one priority. I would rather you be late. I would rather you have to wait a little bit and order another vehicle. I'd rather you have to spend a little bit of extra money to cancel that ride and get another vehicle than to say, screw it, I'm just going to deal with it, and then something terrible happens to you. Our gut, our intuition, it's there for a reason. Do not ignore it. Listen to it. Now, me personally, I don't use a lot of rideshare services. Whenever I travel, whether it's with my family or solo, I tend to just get a rental car because I prefer to drive myself. But if you are one that utilizes rideshare, please drop down in the comments some things that you do to ensure your safety or the safety of your loved ones. If you're one that doesn't really follow these tips, because again, some of us, we just don't feel the need to, please share this video with your wife, your kids, your friends, someone that you know travels a lot or that you are concerned about and you want to make sure that they stay safe because again, these tips very well could save someone's life. Stay safe.